Hi, this is Kara. Welcome to Breaking Free Fridays, or welcome back if you've been following the series. It's really great to have you here. Today is the 4th of July, so for those of us that are in the U.S., this is a beautiful day to celebrate the independence of our country with the signing of the Declaration back in 1776. And in spirit of that, I just felt guided to talk about getting real about the cost of freedom. So when we're on these journeys of self-development and awakening and healing and doing a lot of inner growth to realize greater levels of empowerment and greater levels of freedom, there's a side to these journeys that sometimes, people don't talk about as much. And there is a cost to them. One of the things that's really important to remember is that when we're going through different levels of awakening, when we are becoming aware of things that are deeper in our subconscious or in our patterns, either on an emotional level or a thought pattern level, belief level, these things can be very confronting. It can be incredibly uncomfortable at times, and quite frankly, just really challenging and hard. There are times where these journeys come with a lot of release that comes forward in the form of feelings that we may have been burying, avoiding, any kind of escaping from for years. It can be confronting things that we have kind of protected ourselves from seeing. But the reality is, and this is something that is so important to really, really take in, that when we are going forward and we're moving into new levels of consciousness and we are gaining greater alignment with our higher selves, when we are coming into alignment with the life that we want to live, the best version of our life that we are here to live. One of the things that's so important to realize is that it requires us to become uncomfortable, to become comfortable with uncomfortable things. And so much of our primal brain functioning it's wired to keep us small in an attempt to keep us safe. And yet that safety is a little bit of a misnomer. And what's really interesting about that is that until we get to a point where we've disentangled our energy from those of other people in terms of emotions and even thought patterns and things like that, we feel like our sense of safety is only secured by things external to us. And so if there are things external to us that have power over or domain over our sense of safety, then it makes it very difficult for us to break free. The reality is, and the true treasure and truth is, that our sense of safety is something that we are inherently born with. It's a divine birthright. It is within us in the core essence of our being. And getting to a place where we have enough emotional regulation, enough regulation in our nervous system, where there is space and capacity to really experience life, almost from the standpoint of, we're experiencing life and we're in it but not of it, if that makes sense. It's almost like this observer kind of mentality where we can bring a level of curiosity into every experience, where it's more of a responsive nature as opposed to reactive nature. And I share this because there were times in my journey earlier on, where I questioned myself, I was like, oh my gosh, am I masochistic or what is going on? Because the level of pain and some of the things that I faced, it was intense. And yet, remember that those are signs that you are doing something right, that you are having breakthroughs, you are on the cusp of that next level of your life, of your consciousness, of realizing that life that you are meant to live, that divine alignment. And it's also important to realize when you think about cost, so getting real about the cost of freedom, in our effort to cope with life and things that we survive that are really challenging, especially in our formative years, in our youth and our childhood. What happens is we create these coping mechanisms that actually wall us up. It's in an attempt to protect ourselves. It's in an attempt to keep us safe. But a lot of it ends up ultimately being misguided in one way. However, that misguided piece, it actually creates this trail of breadcrumbs that brings these invitations back for us to find the truth, to really chip away and unveil our wholeness that has always been within, that we just actually covered up in different walls of protection and things of that nature. So one of the other things that I wanted to remind all of us is that there's these costs of breaking free, which are absolutely worthy of going through. It's the alchemical process, our transformational process. And we get to learn new skills. We get to practice new ways of being. We get to practice new ways of interacting. We get to practice new ways of connecting that are from a place of higher perspective, of greater alignment. And that takes some unraveling of things, of letting go of things, of transcending. And so there are confronting parts, and that is normal, and that is to be expected, and it is part of an indication that you're doing something right and getting through to the breakthroughs, right? The other thing, when you think about the cost and getting real about the cost of freedom, if we are unwilling to go there, then we're having a conversation about cost in a different way, because then we're talking about the cost of staying stuck, the cost of staying small, the cost of living a life where we don't realize our dreams, where we don't realize and embrace our truth, where we don't embody our divinity. And the cost of that, oh my goodness, that is so much higher than the cost of that discomfort of going through to the next level of our growth, and I just invite you to be gentle and have grace for yourself in this process, because there's definitely a messy middles at times for sure. And anyway, I just want to celebrate your freedom, your process of inner work. Your journey is so worth it and so beautiful, and part of that beauty is that messy middle. It is that discomfort. It is the challenge. It is the stuff that's really hard. And sometimes, we need a little reminder. And one of the things that can be so powerful to reflect on is some of the things that you're most proud of in your life. Some of the things that bring you the greatest satisfaction or sense of milestone achieved. And I know when I think back to some of those things, I realize, wow, those were very confronting. Like they were not easy. They were things that that took extra effort, that required me to dig deep. And so sometimes it can help to just reflect back in your own experience, in your own journey, like where those points were really worth it. And remember to celebrate. Celebrate you, celebrate your moments, no matter how small they seem, because those are the keys to building the momentum that keeps you going. And even when things maybe are getting more and more confronting. I hope you are having a great day, and let me know what you think of this, how it's landing for you, what your experience has been. And if you've enjoyed this video, please share it with your loved ones, and send a like, subscribe. And here's to your next level of empowerment and breaking free. Have a great week, and bye for now.